Jai Shri Krishna. Welcome to our final program for 18 weeks. It was a beautiful journey, spiritual journey for these 18 weeks. And during these 18 weeks, we had started our journey in July and now in December. So many programs which we will be basically summarizing it today and discuss further on that. So I'm Satya Kalra, your host and founder of Path to Anandam. And on behalf of Path to Anandam team, we'd like to welcome all of you again. And with Guruji's blessing, Swami Hariharji's Maharaj's blessing. We're all together here and conducted this program and learned and shared based on his teachings, his guidance, based on these books, learning from all the friends, from all of you, from the others. And today's program, Manual for Eternal Bliss. There is something is not right with the. So contents of the program today, the Manual for Eternal Bliss. Just summarizing it. What is Gita? Why Gita? Who should study Gita? What we learn from Gita? And how can we apply in our daily life? And then question comes, is Gita for me or not? And of course, it will be meditation, tips of the day. So starting as I do it, and today's program, especially when it says, and question comes during this difficult times, many people ask that question, is it possible to live in today's world in peace and joy, free from stress, miseries of life, anxieties, and frustrations? And this is the very first question I have in my book, My Question and God's Answer. So it says, yes, Bhagavad-Gita, the song of God, blesses us with that possibility because Gita is a path, it is a boat. It takes us, I call it, it's a GPS actually. GPS of today's, as we all have experienced. It takes us from miseries and pains to eternal bliss, happy, healthy, and peaceful life, and beyond. Not just the life, but the beyond. And experience who we are, Sat Chit Ananda. Just to summarize it, refresh our memory, what is Bhagavad-Gita? And I will be basically sharing what is Bhagavad-Gita to me, but what I learned. And this dialogue between two friends, Lord Krishna and Arjuna. where Lord Krishna speaks and Arjuna listens. It's a beautiful dialogue, beautiful discussion. It says Samvad, Shri Krishna Arjun Samvade, end of each chapter. Means it's not a vivad. It's a soul-to-soul discussion. It's not a mind-to-mind discussion. There is no ego involved. Lord Krishna, whenever Arjuna is confused, he brings him back. And Arjuna was disheartened. So that's why it says it's a conversation between the lower self and someone is in really at low esteem, Vishad Yoga. But this is not just a Arjuna and Lord Krishna. This is a story of you and me. It's a story of all of us. We get into that situation. And each chapter of Bhagavad-Gita is called yoga. That's why it is called the scriptures of yoga. But mainly it teaches what to do and what not to do. To me, that guides me a lot. It is also known as Brahma Vidya because it teaches us who we are. Where did we come from? Where will we go from here? What is the purpose of our life? And how to get there? That's what Bhagavad Gita teaches. That's why it is called Brahma Vidya. And of course, it is the ocean of self-knowledge. I call it like, it's a pulse. You know, it's just like we are sitting on the ocean, bank of the ocean, bank of the river. And there are so many pulses inside. It gives us the option to pick up whatever we want. If we want to just relax, just pick up the Bhagavad Gita and read. If we want to get deeper into it, deeper into the ocean, we can go and catch some pearls, some stones. And that's a good experience in Gangaji when we sit there and we do all those things. And then if you want to go further deeper, whatever, it's a full of pulse. So I call it go deeper and deeper and pick up the pulse and make your life very beautiful with it. Make a piece of jewelry with it. So Gita is a step-by-step spiritual practical guide for daily life, for righteous living by Swami Hariharji Maharaj. It is also called Yoga Shastra because every chapter is a yoga. It ends with yoga, Vishad yoga, Gyan yoga, Karma yoga, Bhakti yoga, all those yogas. Yogas means union. Union means realizing who we are. So this is a Shastra, a scripture of self-realization. So Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Shastra. It has 700 verses, 18 chapters, 8 but mainly 3 yogas. Karma Yoga, chapter 1 to 6, which tells us what to do, how to do, what not to do, how to live righteously. And next 7 to 12 chapters, Bhakti Yoga, how to open up our heart, how to fill our heart with love and compassion. And then from 13 to 18, it tells us we are the Jeev Atma, from Jeev Atma, Paramatma. So all the 3 are Jiva, when it is only the body. When it connects with there is an Atma in it, then we become the human beings. So then from Atma, we go and connect and get to the supreme power, Satchit Ananda, Paramatma. So to me, Gita is not just the Yoga Shastra. It takes us beyond just learning, but it gives us the freedom from certain miseries, certain habits. So I call this is a Moksha Shastra, and it is chapter 1, which starts with Vishad Yoga, and last chapter is Moksha Yoga, liberation. So all the 18 chapters from Vishad, it takes us to a spiritual journey all the way to liberation, moksha. And it offers total solutions because it connects. Hand means karma yoga, head means jnana yoga, heart means bhakti yoga. So it is a combination of 3 H's, head, heart, and hands. So to Gita offers all, but we all have to be connected. When we want to do something, it's just not that we do the actions, but our heart has to be connected. We must know how to do it. And here comes our prayers. When Arjuna was in difficult situations, he prayed to Lord Krishna. Help him, guide him, advise him. So I would suggest all of you, just for 30 seconds, close your eyes and just imagine that you are sitting in front of Lord Krishna and having some kind of issue or question, and you want to have advice from him. So let's all pray to him together. Karpanye dosho pet swabhava paschami tvam dharma samud cheta yachse asyani nishchitam bruitan me shishyaste ham shadimam tvam prapanyam shishyaste ham shadimam tvam prapanyam. My heart is overwhelmed by the weakness of pity. I have lost my composure. I cannot think properly. So please advise me. What should I do? Advise me what is best for me. What should I do? I humbly surrender to you. Please accept my pranam. So Lord Krishna takes him step by step, but he brings him in his attention that why he is in difficult situation, because he is overtaken by attachment. He's thinking too much of his family members. And he has forgotten what he should do and what he should not do. So he reminds him that what it is causing him. Dhyayato vishan punsa, sangas teshu pujayate, sangas sanjayate kama kama krodho vijayate. Krodha bhavti sammoha, sammoha smriti vibhrama. Smriti branchad buddhi nasha pranshati. His buddhi is confused now. Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, why your buddhi is so confused now? Why you are so confused? Because you are thinking too much about your family members, the outcome of the war, outcome of your fulfilling the responsibilities, and asking him. That's why you have lost your memory that you are a Kshatriya. You're supposed to fulfill your kartavya, you perform your duty, and you forgot. Why? Because you are too much attached. And that's due to your attachment. This is what we suffer in the life also. So this is a beautiful verse. This is a verse which we can relate to any time we are in a situation. We should ask ourselves, what is causing me? So what does Gita teach us? It says Gita is all about you and me, not just for Arjuna. It teaches us how to remove our pains and miseries from our life and fulfill our own dharma. Liberates ourselves, takes us from Vishad, and gives us the prasad of knowing what we should be doing, experiencing the divinity within us, and experience ultimate Anandam, blissful life. And that is the purpose of our life. So what does Gita teach us? Gita teaches us awareness, like Arjuna become aware that he was in difficult situation. So it teaches us when we are in difficult situation, we should be pay attention to it, accept it, and then take action. Means ask for advice or whatever it is appropriate at that time. And it removes all the doubts. Whole Gita from chapter 1 to 17 teaches us how to go beyond our doubts, because he tells Arjuna, doubt with doubts, sanchaya atma vinashyati. When there is a sanchaya, our mind cannot think properly. Think about it. Anytime we have a difficulty, we have a doubts, when we have a stress, we cannot think properly. And doubts do create stress. It takes him little by little by little and tells him that recognize these 5 plus 2 enemies, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ankar, jealousy, resentment, and go beyond it. Nistre Guno Bhav Arjun. And then takes him step by step, all the way explaining him. And this is the reason I'm explaining this particular slide, is because we have gone through 18 sessions and we have covered all those subjects. Awareness, what is our dharma, what are the doubts, how to make the decisions. Also, Gita is our mirror. So how we can remove our vices. Adat buri sudhar lo ho gaya bhajan. How should we do that? How should we do our neki kar kuein mein dal? Follow our karma yoga, action that takes us, it brings the smile on our face. It gives us the satisfaction. We have already spoken about this. This is just a summary of those. And how can we have a healthy body, healthy mind? How can we have a oneness? And then balancing our lifestyle. Why about meditation? We have covered all those subjects. So this is just a reminder that what we have covered. But this is an example, just a simple example. What does Gita teach? And I said 3 Ds, doubts and confusion, where Arjuna says, Najo tasyati gobindam. I cannot fight anymore. And Lord Krishna guides him, tells him, Nistre guna bhav Arjuna, Arjun, go beyond it, learn to discriminate. And then at the end, when after all the teachings, when Arjuna understands, and then he says, Nashto moha svati labda, tat prasadan maya yot, sthito asmin gat sandeya karshe vachanamta. So then he makes the decision. So Gita teaches 3 Ds, doubts, discrimination, and then decision what to do with the help of divinity. And here I put these 3 slides. Look at this one. Here Arjuna is in a difficult situation in Vishad. Here Lord Krishna is advising him. And here, now he says, Karshe vachanam tau. He just runs with him. So this is a teaching of Bhagavad-Gita. Difficult time, we all get into that Vishad yoga, or Vishad, I would say in Vishad, but when we have the union with Supreme Power, then it becomes Vishad yoga. That difficulty does not seem to be the difficulty anymore, because now Supreme Power is with us. It's taking us gradually, little by little, guiding us what to do. So Gita is for who? That question comes many times because Gita was given at that time 5,157, 58 years ago. How could it apply today? And who can follow? Because Arjuna was a warrior. How could it apply to anybody else? I'm not a warrior. When Guruji asked me to become an Arjun, first thing he asked me, become an Arjun. And my first thing was, how could I become an Arjun? I'm not in the war. And then little by little, I understood that Gita's teachings, living righteously, doesn't matter whether we are in what profession we are. The teachings of Gita applies to doctors, counselors, teachers, CEOs, lawyers, politicians, parents, children, young, old, everyone. So in next beautiful slide, again, Gita is for who and why. The young to learn how to live, the old to know how to die, the ignorance for wisdom. The people who are ignorant, it gives them a wisdom. It gives people, old people, how to die. And people who are learned, then sometimes the learned, this is the biggest danger comes when we learn about scriptures. Ego comes, I know more than others. And that's where Gita brings humility in us. That's what Gita teaches, be humble. To rich, they are rich, but they're disconnected with the heart. So it teaches them how to be compassionate. And to poor, it gives the comfort. To dreamers, it helps them to how to fulfill, motivate them to fulfill their dreams. And to weak, it gives the strength. To strong, it gives the directions that be on your lane, be on your path. Don't be so egoistic. And when there is a trouble, it brings the peace. And when we are worried, it brings the rest in us. And of course, doubting souls, Gita assures them that they are not alone as long as they ask the questions. And for sinner, it's salvation. That's where Lord Krishna says, don't worry about it. Arjuna, don't worry. Anytime somebody comes and start practicing the teachings of Bhagavad-Gita, I'm with them. So it is a guidance. So Gita is for healthy, happy, and peaceful life. Satchit Ananda. And whoever needs it, who does not need it, it's for all. So Gita is for all. So when to study Gita? And this question comes to me many times, so I thought I should add this slide. That any time of the day, as we like, we have doubts, confusions, questions, feel dejected, distressed, lonely, fearful, worried, or we just want to relax. But I said first thing in the morning and last thing in the night. Where first thing in the morning, it sets the trend of the day, and the last thing of the night, it works on the subconscious mind. And whatever is in subconscious mind, it just removing all the doubts, though we are sleeping, and it's working on our subconscious mind to cleanse it. So it helps to purify even at night, even though we are not doing much at that time. And how to practice it? Just take a one verse, one phrase, whatever suits us, and just practice it. Read the verse, whatever it suits me. Read the meaning. But the most important is practice, practice, practice. How am I going to apply in my life? And that's where the transformation comes. It's just like, we go to doctor, we get all the diagnosis, get the prescription, and then bring the medicine. And if you don't take it, then all the effort is gone and we cannot have the impact of the medicine. So it's very, very important to take the medicine. Like it's very, very important to do the practice, not just listening. It's good to listen, good to read, but unless we practice it, the transformation will not happen. So how should we follow the Gita's teachings? These are the 7 steps which I have spoken before, and just a summary of it that you can see it right here, but in the next slide, here is know the purpose of your life. Why am I here? Live in self-awareness. Where am I? What do I need to do to move to the next level, to transform myself? Have a company of divinity, divine people, Gita, whoever, but Guru, Gopal, whoever we find, we should have the company of like-minded people, ethical people, and do the right action. Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and what is all the combination of is this action that is done with knowledge, with love and compassion for benefit of all. That is Karma Yoga. Of course, there is a verse, Karmanya Vadika Raste Ma Phaleshu Kadachan Ma Karma Phal Hetu Bhumate Sango Aswakarmani. But end of the day, Neki Kartue Medal. Whatever gives us satisfaction, whatever brings a smile on our face, and practice goodness, goodness, goodness. See goodness in yourself, see goodness in others, see goodness in situations, and take care of yourself. Asanas, meditation, pranayam, and do the best and let go. Surrender, surrender. But make sure all these steps are followed. Surrender will not come without this. See, Lord Krishna, when he told Arjuna, Sarv dharman paritajye mamekam sharanam braj aham tam sarpape moksha shami mashuche. He guides him that surrender, surrender, surrender. He did not tell him to surrender in the beginning, in the Vishad Yoga or second Yoga or Karma Yoga. He told him at the very end. Because when we know all these things, when our doubts are taken care of it, then only we can surrender. Otherwise, we cannot surrender. So we have to learn all the teachings of Bhagavad-Gita, practice it, and then the surrender is the byproduct of it. It will come automatically. And again, this slide, I share it just to remind all of us, asanas, pranayam, do mantras, man ki lagam, which is the Om mantra, and meditation, prayers, and how to practice it. Again, start your day by reading Bhagavad Gita, apply and practice, and end the day with learning, forgiving ourselves and others, because during the day many things happen, and then at the thank, and then thank everyone. And practice again. I can emphasize, practice. But with the practice, have a patience, because it's not going to happen overnight. So Shanai Uttar Med, and then step by step, the peace will come to us. So self-realization is not an activity, but a lifestyle. We have to live the Sattvic lifestyle. And Bhagavad-Gita, it talks about so much about Sattvic lifestyle, what is Sattvic lifestyle and how to live. So in summary, what does Gita do? It makes a person, Jeev Atma, to Dharmatma by performing the duty. then the person becomes Mahatma. This is Swami Hariyarji Maharaj. Okay. And then from there, one becomes Paramatma, merges with supreme power. And when I say merges with supreme power, they are so pure. There are no difference between God and Guru. So all this lower self, which I talked about, the Vishad, then it goes to, this is a tamasic level when we are at that Vishad. Then it goes to the sattvic, rajasic level. We become a little bit calm, little bit in the middle ground becomes, and then all this negativity gets out and this becomes a sattvic, and we go to higher conscious level. This is where we get the prasad of eternal happiness and bliss. So what does Gita does? It makes man to God. Means freedom from negative emotions, freedom from desires, worldly desires, unsatisfied desires, insatiable desires, which is the cause of all the problems in our life. Anger, greed, attachment, basically we become free. And Lord Krishna says, become yogi. And that's how one becomes yogi. So the final product comes as the peace within, peace to our surroundings, whether it's a family or it's a community, wherever we go, we carry our peace. We become the magnet of peace, fountain of peace. And of course, we are happy as well. So to me, Gita is what is to me. Gita is a song of Lord Krishna, Lord God, to sing every moment of my life. That is what is Gita to me. And to me, it's always 3 G's: God, guide, and Guru. Gita offers all to me. And it offers to everyone. But today I am sharing my experience, what I have, and I'm going to open the floor for you now. But what is Gita to me? We will read this later, but to me, it is Gita. One day I was just sitting and Gita's spelling, and it just came to me that Gita is a 3 G's, 3 Guru, Gyan, Gopal, and I stands for ignorance to wisdom. T stands for Tyaga of 5 + 2 enemies, means self-purification and self-transformation. And of course, A stands for Anandam, so anger to Anandam. So miseries to bliss, Vishad to Prasad, and Sat Chit Ananda.